AEW Revolution is in the books as it is the first pay-per-view for AEW in 2025. And honestly, it was a treat to watch from start to partially finish. But we ain't getting into that match, at least for now. Anyways, let's get on to the show. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure to like and sub. First match on the night is a grudge match between Hangman Page and MJF, as this is just straight up nothing but grabs in the first match of the night, and it had me hooked to every single thing that they did in the ring, from moonsaults, cheeky Nando super kicks, a bunch of dead eyes from Hangman, and a bunch of near falls that really had me on the edge of my seat the entire time. As Hangman goes for a buckshot lariat, MJF counters into a Fujiwara armbar and has him in this really nice body scissors, which is a really unique way to hit a Fujiwara armbar, by the way. But this spot was crazy. MJF catches him from a moonsault into a tombstone piledriver onto the chair. And in the final moments of the match, Hangman hits a dead eye into a buckshot lariat to keep Max down for the 1-2-3, as this is a much needed win for Hangman, as he's been catching nothing but L's after L after L on pay-per-view. Like, goddamn, like he didn't have a match with Swerve Strickland that was a complete banger, and then he just catches like L's for the next 3 pay-per-views in 2024. Hopefully he has better success in 2025. Moving on to the next match, as it is a TBS championship match between Mercedes Moné and Stardom Momo Watanabe, as this match honestly was pretty stiff in more ways than one. Momo was going all in with these kicks, man. She was insane. The strikes were just hot and heavy. Every single thing that she threw at Mercedes was, oh my God, it was impactful. It's like you can hear how bad it was. Like the room was echoing as Mercedes was trying to fight out everything, and she was fighting out of desperation as she hit a statement maker in the final moments of the match to submit Momo, as Momo put up one hell of a performance. Obviously, same with Mercedes, but at some points it felt like she got outclassed by Momo, which made the match really compelling as well as engaging. Next match on the night is a complete banger between Ricochet and Swerve Strickland for not only bragging rights or legacies, but for championship contention. Now, this may be a hot take for some, but out of all 9 matches on the night, this match was truly match of the night for how good it was and how much story driven it was, to the point where Prince Nana pretty much teased leaving Swerve's side, and it led to the delight of Ricochet, obviously, as we all thought that Ricochet might have taken a dub at some points. I mean, that would have been crazy if that was the result, but thankfully it wasn't, as these two put on a really good match. They were going back and forth, just absolute chaos from inside and outside the ring, as Swerve hit a vertebreaker, which I personally thought it was GG's after that, because, man, Ricochet was screaming. But after Nana trying to sneakily come out and get his robe back, Ricochet sees it at the back of his eye and takes out Swerve Strickland and Nana in the process with a vertigo, and Swerve kicks out, shockingly enough. But after a couple house calls and a Swerve stomp, Swerve takes the dub and takes the world title opportunity, as he is going to be Jon Moxley's next challenger. We move on to one of the rubber matches of the night between Brody King and Kazuchika Okada for the Continental Championship, and much as I hate to say it, this match is truly a bathroom break of a match. Well, there was some good spots here and there, and some hard-hitting moves here and there as well. It just wasn't really my cup of tea of a match, as it just was another win for Okada, and nothing really matters at that point. Next match is another filler match, in my opinion, between the Hurt Syndicate and the Outrunners. Nothing really to see here, honestly, besides just another easy win, as I just hate to say it, but these tag team title matches just don't mean nothing. It was just knee number 1, spear number 1, knee number 2, and then spear number 2 for a 1-2-3. It was just simple and plain as that. It was just nothing really to look forward to, and I hate to say it, but it was pretty much filler for what was up next. Next match, we have the Hollywood-ending street fight between Mariah May and Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship. And this match, while not for the faint of heart, this match is definitely fitting for how extreme this feud has transpired between Mariah May and Toni Storm, as they took it to the extreme everywhere they went around the arena and anywhere they could, as this match felt completely unorthodox. out of the ordinary for an extreme match and a no DQ match for that matter. But that's what made this match so special, and that's what made this match a really marquee point in the night, as Toni Storm was the first one to draw blood, and Mariah May just pointed it out and made sure that she had to target her face. And not only that, we got bottles. We were popping bottles, as well as broken glass being used in ways that it really shouldn't be used, as Toni Storm and Mariah were beating the hell out of each other with glass and knees and near falls with pile drivers. And of course the shoe, which was, oh my god, it was ingrained in blood, and being with the championship, shades of what Mariah did to Toni. And it leads to a Storm Zero under the Hollywood table, and that is it. The 1, 2, 3. Toni Storm retains the championship in one hell of a rivalry and one hell of a storyline. Probably one of the best storylines that AEW has had to offer. Thank you, Toni Storm and Mariah May. Next match is one that I was highly anticipated for and pretty much seated waiting for this match to happen. Konosuke Takeshita, Kenny Omega for the International Championship. And my god, man, this match was nothing but grab straight. Amazing work from these two as they go blow for blow in the beginning. They just knew each other so well. Like, the chemistry that they had inside the ring was just insane. Like, you just couldn't map it out any better. And Don Callis just being Don Callis, it wasn't really anything special from him, but it was kind of entertaining for what it was. But there was a huge spot in the match where Kenny was pretty much hurting in his midsection, as they were pretty much adding on to the fact that he was still recovering from diverticulitis, as that's what he was injured and out for most of the year. As Takeshita was targeting the midsection with suplexes onto the table and forearms right to the midsection, trying to knock down Omega off his game, but it just wasn't enough, as he went for Snapdragon suplexes, V-triggers, and then a power bomb into a V-trigger, which was just classic Omega, you know? You really can't go wrong. But Takeshita fired back with a Blue Thunder Bomb, and then was trying to go for something off the top rope, but Omega countered with a Sunset Flip Bomb, and then into a V-trigger, and then Takeshita fired back again, only for a near fall, as Takeshita really had his number at points. And honestly, it seemed like Omega was done. I thought he was going to lose the match after a bicycle knee and almost a near fall, and then Omega hits another V-trigger, and then a stump pile driver right after that, as Takeshita still kicks out, and then Omega goes for not only one knee, but a second knee, and then a knee catched by Takeshita into an elbow that was so stiff. You can just hear that. And a big knee right to the face, and then into a Poison Rana, into a V-trigger. Don Callis tried to save him. He kind of did, and then he kind of didn't, as Omega pins Takeshita with a roll-up for the win. As Omega and Takeshita put up such an amazing match between one another. I would watch it again. It was awesome. Yo, editing atheist in the building real quick. I just needed to mention that shout out to Takeshita and Omega for paying homage to Hajime no Ippo, because if y'all didn't notice, the gear transitions to real life. Also, if you made it to this part of the video, I love you so much. Thank you for sticking around. We only have like a couple more matches to go. On to the co-main event of the night between Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, and I believe this is their fourth match. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, because I don't entirely remember if it's 4 or 5 in terms of matches that they had against each other. That surely doesn't take away from what this match brought to the table, as it being the co-main event of the night, and pretty much just, I don't know how the hell you follow this match. It was just insane. It got me fumbling over my words. Ospreay goes for a phenomenal forearm, just being put to the cage. Corkscrew moonsaults Ospreay, looking like a psychopath with blood all over his face, as Fletcher tried to contain him on many occasions, but it was just too much. But Kyle Fletcher always fired back and tried to always replicate what Ospreay did in some ways, but Ospreay was relentless the entire match, and that kind of led to some of the things to his demise at some points, but the result was way different than I expected it, as Ospreay hit a bunch of elbows, and again, another insane shout out Ospreay, another elbow, and then I thought he was going to go for the Tiger Driver here, but instead he goes for a Stormbreaker, but instead gets countered into a DDT, and then Mark Davis shows up as he accidentally gives Ospreay a special gift and a barbed wire bat, and just goes to town on Kyle Fletcher and pays homage to Mick Foley, becoming Will Foley at that point, as Kyle Fletcher tried to make a truce, throwing up the United Empire crown symbol, then leads to a big FU, leading into Kyle Fletcher getting an opening, into a hidden blade, into a Stormbreaker, only for a 2 count, then to Mark Davis breaking it up. It was insane. It was an insane sequence of moves and stuff happening in the match. Near falls galore. A screwdriver was involved, and Kyle Fletcher got his hands on it, and yikes. Kyle Fletcher hits a brainbuster onto a chair, which leads to another Styles Clash into thumbtacks. They go on top of the cage, hit each other with a screwdriver, into a Spanish fly off the top of the cage with a huge, shocking reaction from the crowd. Kyle Fletcher doesn't want to quit, but Ospreay makes him quit the hard way, as this war of attrition was something that Ospreay took by the balls pretty much and took the W. Now we head into the controversial meat and potatoes of the night, the main event for the AEW World Championship, Edge versus Jon Moxley. My God, I don't even want to talk about this match. This match was just bar none, just BS, filler, everything in the book. Even when the match got to a brutal point where the canvas was shown and the concrete and stuff, and Mox did a curb stomp, Edge and Moxley just couldn't pull a good main event. To save their lives, they just couldn't. Even with everything into place, a Death Rider that just sucked, a couple clotheslines, Wheeler Yuta coming out, hitting up a psycho knee on Edge, and it was just so predictable at points where I just got angry. I got aggravated when watching this. Jay White came out to save Edge from getting the 2-on-1 beats from Mox and Wheeler Yuta, which it just turned out to be bad, which Moxley took advantage with Edge being down and out after getting hit with a briefcase by Jay White. Edge comes back with a couple spears, lines up Mox for one more spear, trying to end the match, but then Christian comes out, and you think he's going to save it. Maybe. Spear to Edge, kicks out of that, and then goes for the kill switch right after that. And then guess what happens? I really want y'all to guess. If y'all didn't watch this, Moxley hits a bulldog choke. Christian tries to go for the cover on Edge. Moxley hooks the choke even more deep, which leaves Christian to just go to sleep as Moxley escapes the ring, as Christian and Edge are laid in the ring, as Swerve Strickland attacks Moxley, and that didn't even save the damn segment. And I hope y'all enjoyed this little talk/recap of AEW Revolution. The show was amazing, and it was held back by its main event. I just hope they just don't replicate it again.